Time to head back into Hawaii's kitchen with Master Chef Roy Yamaguchi. He's got a new restaurant opening up on Kauai, and he's making one of the menu items just for me this morning. We are back here at the Ferguson showroom in Kalihi with Master Chef Roy Yamaguchi. He's got a new restaurant on Kauai, and we're going to have to fly over if we want to check it out. But you're making a garlic shrimp piri-piri.
Yes.
Did you know shrimp was my favorite food?
I sure did.
I'm sure you planned it, right? You knew I was going to be here today.
I did.
Well, we can start cooking now.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I have some extra virgin olive oil in this pan. I want to make sure the pan is hot but not smoking. And then I like garlic, so I'm going to add a little extra garlic here. And then to this, what I'm going to do is add some onions, lots of onions. And the whole concept of this dish is to make sure that we can kind of stew all these ingredients together. So with the garlic, the onions, we're just going to saute this and kind of sweat the onions and get that bay leaf flavor right into the oil itself. And then this kind of gets smothered. And then to this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some paprika, okay? And when you cook the paprika with a little bit of oil, all the flavors, all the oils from the paprika actually comes out, and it becomes even more aromatic, so that's a good thing. And then to that, I'm going to add the tomatoes.
I have to ask you, do you cook at home? Sometimes chefs, you know, you're cooking all day, you probably go drive-through on your way home.
I go through a lot of drive-through.
Do you? Okay. That makes me feel better.
Drive-in, drive-through, or whatever it may be. Pick up, to go, yes. To go and I are best friends.
Good to know, me too.
So we have the tomatoes, and we're going to kind of sweat the tomatoes. And then to this, I'm going to add some tomato paste, okay? So the tomato paste is kind of a thickener. So it'll actually give some body to the sauce itself.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned your new restaurant. There's Portuguese and kind of a Filipino fusion. Is that right?
Yeah. It's, you know, because Peter Fernandez was a Portuguese gentleman, and he opened that first restaurant, supposedly the first restaurant, the Eating House. So I thought, you know, the food was probably a lot Portuguese, and then, but, you know, here in 2015, you know, there's a lot of fusion going on. So what I wanted to do was...
With those plantation workers coming in. Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I would add my own flair to what he probably would have served. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a Portuguese dish, the piri-piri with the shrimp. So it's kind of adding a Roy's touch to this.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Just smile.
You don't trust me. You heard about my skills in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm sure you're great. So what we've done is we've added some of the liquid, which is the shrimp stock. And then I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more. And then to this, I'm going to add some shrimp. And get all the flavors of the sauce to permeate through the shrimp itself. Mm-hmm. Okay, and as we cook this, what's going to happen is that the sauce is going to become thicker, and the shrimp will cook, and then this will become kind of a stew.
Now, you mentioned in our last segment about this Localicious campaign that's happening for the month of March.
Yes.
Why do you think it's important for restaurants to support local farmers?
Well, because, number one, to me, farmers are rock stars. They are the ones who really make us look good, because when they grow a lot of great foods for us, it's easy for us to look good because all we have to do is do very little to it. So, and on top of that, a lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins. You know, getting it fresh from the farm is definitely the best. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we want to make sure that we can continually sustain that. So supporting your local farmers, coming to the restaurant and supporting Localicious is extremely important.
Yeah. All right, we're going to continue cooking, but in our next segment, we actually get to eat it, right?
If you're nice to me.
Wow. I promise to be nice to you.
Stay
stay tuned for that. I want to see what happens.
I was nice. I was nice, I promise.
You know, it's so bad. I mean, the television is such a great medium, but the one thing we don't have is smell-o-vision. And what was it like? I mean, all those flavors right there.
Good.
Oh.
It was really good. And you also notice chefs never measure anything. They just know how much to put a pinch here, a pinch there. I could never do that.
You know, I gotta say, Trini, you kind of lament your cooking skills, but I tell you, the more time you're gonna be awesome by the time all these cooking segments are
Hawaii's Kitchen. They inspire me.
Yeah, again, mahalo's for Ferguson's for being a part of that. Very cool.
Yes.